God created men in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Genesis 1:27. Throughout ancient times, gender stereotypes, a widely held belief or generalization about the behaviors and characteristics attributed to women and men, have been present and placed on us up until now. So, how do teenagers view the stereotypes men and women face, or the gender stereotypes attributed towards them?
Let's say in the Great Depression, let's say that's a good example. Men fought in war, so that means they have more physical strength, which means they get placed into the front line, meaning they are more valued higher in society because they have to actually engage in combat. Men are less submissive, meaning they want to engage in more stuff, which creates them being in higher social situations, which mean they usually gain better jobs and stuff, etc., meaning, they get placed more important in society compared to women, which were, in the past, let's say if you're physically weaker, that wasn't a good thing.
Normal guys don't cry kind of stuff, or like eat some concrete and toughen up, that kind of phrase or something like that, but just generally you just have to be there, and then you can't have an emotional breakdown. That's kind of what's expected, but it's pretty unrealistic.
就是可能女生不能在公共场合穿着太露，因为可能就会别人觉得说女生穿太露就是为了吸引男生的注意力，或者是像是化妆前跟化妆后如果差很大的话，别人就会批评他们的长相。像是如果女生在公共场合讲话比较大声，就会觉得说比较粗鲁或者是没有家教，但是相对的男生如果讲话比较大声的话，就比较不会这么的被放大检核。
This concept of like feminine and masculine, often when we describe someone as feminine, it's often like about, your actions should be like softer and quieter, and then if you tell someone, you should be more masculine, and it's often about having being stronger, being fitter, not being afraid. To me, masculinity and femininity, it's nonsense. I don't think you should judge a person based on their gender plus their actions, because I don't think gender should be tied to the way you behave. Like, if you're a male, okay, you're a male, so what? You can act like feminine, but obviously we don't want to call that kind of interactions like feminine or masculine. You can act like a girl and nobody should care, and as female you can act like a man or like a boy. I don't think people should be judged by that.
You have to be like very elegant and stuff. You can't be like too loud, or like you can't do anything that's like out of the normal. If that's you, then sure, but most people aren't like that, and then it's kind of restraining them from being themselves.
So in younger ages, parents will help us not to cry and solve problems by ourselves, which in some cases men should be more tougher and more stronger than women. And this is the lesson that I learned from when I was young. And in some lectures from school, we also taught that men should take more responsibility compared to women. But in some cases, I think this is a kind of stereotype. But in some cases, men do need to take more responsibility. But overall, I think men and women should have the equal right to do the equal thing as they want.
One thing that I've experienced myself is like a lot of people expect boys to be good at sports or like things like basketball, and like I'm not. So I'm not particularly interested in playing sports either. So yeah, that's definitely one.
Be a lady, they said. Your shirt is too low. Don't show so much skin. Don't be too fat. Don't be too thin. Eat up. Slim down. Stop eating so much. Order a salad. Don't eat carbs. Go on a diet. God, you look like a skeleton. Why don't you just eat? You look sick. Men like women with some meat on their bones. Be a lady, they said. Be a size 0. Be a 00. Be nothing. Be less than nothing. Be a lady, they said. Wear makeup. Look young. Old is ugly. Men don't like ugly. Be a lady, they said. Don't talk too loud. Don't talk too much. Don't be intimidating. Why are you so miserable? Endorse the pain. Don't complain. Don't dress like that. Be a lady, they said. What do we expect of girls? What do we expect of boys? Should we behave according to our gender? Does our gender control whether we can behave masculine or feminine? Girls are expected to dress nicely, while dressing modestly, as wearing revealing clothes creates temptation for males. Girls are characterized as being more communal than men, while being attuned to others and building relationships. Men, on the other hand, are generalized as being more agentic than women. They are the ones expected to take charge and be in control. These gender stereotypes influence an individual's behavior. For women, there's an expectation to look flawless. Women face immense pressure to look pretty 24/7. Oftentimes, they are inundated with advertisements about beauty products promoted by gorgeous models through televisions and magazines. However, this sends a message to women that their worth is tied to their appearance. In reality, this pressure to look flawless throws a huge impact on women. According to the Daily Mail, a survey revealed that 58% of women said they look better with their makeup, and 12% said they wouldn't be desired as much without it. Women shouldn't be uncomfortable with being themselves. They shouldn't have to feel that they need to look perfect all the time. There's another expectation that women are quiet and passive. According to child psychologists, women become less vocal when growing up for a variety of reasons, not to include low self-esteem. Kristen Mary, an associate professor at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, marked that the attitudes and beliefs about the opposite sex shift dramatically as soon as boys and girls reach their adolescence. Becoming teens, girls are seen as vulnerable and in need of protection. This leads many teens who later turn into women to lock up their assertiveness because of wanting to conform to society's beliefs. In reality, gender norms telling women to be quiet and polite causes many women to suppress their feelings in relationships. This is another reason why women don't speak out about sexual harassment or sexual assault until later in life. For men, there's a saying that says, "Real men don't cry." Growing up, men believe that crying is a sign of weakness. Oftentimes, boys will be told by parents, teachers, or peers not to cry or to suck it up. This leads to boys hiding their emotions, which keeps them from overcoming it effectively. Since society made it normal and common for girls to cry, men associate crying with weakness and femininity. In reality, crying is just an emotion and shouldn't be associated with gender. While society associates a woman's worth with appearance, men's worth are attached to their paychecks. There's an expectation that men should earn more than their partners. In reality, this attachment with a man's worth and his paycheck is outdated and unfair. We live now in a progressive era compared to the past when talking about issues regarding gender. However, gender stereotypes are still ingrained into our cultures. But we should not use stereotypes to determine how an individual should behave or what values they hold over the society. Instead, we should focus on this person as an individual.
所以等一下，为什么要 ？Oh my god！ 为什么要？为什么要什么？等一下，重来一次。对，这样。
Because return to not return to monkey.
Is that enough?
Yes, that's enough.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so what gender standards are there for men?
还有这样。我可以讲一次啊，我不要。